Something crazy happened.
What in the world? Do you see him?
Alien centipede thing?
Ah, there it is. Oh, I think I see one. You are one ugly. Oh, I got him. Saltwater centipede.
I freaked out.
Hoʻomalu. Hana Hui A Maui. Aloha,
my ohana. It is your boy back with another aquatic adventure. Now, if you're new to the channel, we talk about everything in the aquarium hobby. It's a perfect time to create this video because no one is home. I'm by myself, and I'm gonna need your guys' undivided attention because something crazy happened to my 10-gallon saltwater aquarium. Now, I'll just give you a little heads up of what's going on. I was moving some old shells around. There were some old hermit crab shells, snail shells that were empty. And as I was moving them, I saw this like alien centipede thing crawling in my saltwater aquarium. I freaked out. Let me run some footage of what I found and let you know what I did.
These are empty old shells. I knew I saw something. I caught my eye, and I knew I saw some type of critter, worm, centipede. I didn't know what it was. I'm here looking around, poking around. Thought it went inside the shell, which sometimes these things do. And so I'm looking around trying to empty it out of, sand. Didn't really see anything on this shell. I was kind of moving things around, twisting it around. I know what I saw, though. I know there was something in that shell. So there's a bunch of empty shells. This is a piece of live rock that I've had in here. And I kind of lift that up to see if something was underneath it or around it because I know I'm not going crazy. I'm going to flip this thing around. And look, there it is. If you can see it, it's right there at the very bottom right of that rock. Now, bear with me, okay? Because I'm holding the camera, got tweezers in my hand, and I'm trying to video this and capture this bristle worm. This is a bristle worm. I freaked out. I called the boys over at Aquarium and Reptile Depot, Jason and Jeff, and I said, dude, what is this thing, man? I showed them the video. They laughed at me and said, oh, it's a bristle worm. Don't worry about it. It's actually, it can benefit the aquarium. It will help clean the aquarium. So it's kind of a natural, I guess, cleaner critter, you can call it. So I don't want this thing to like run away, so I'm gonna try to grab this bad boy. I don't know, it irritated me that it was in here. Now, although bristle worms aren't that aggressive at all, they still may bite you if you pick them up or hold them. Now, the bristles or the spines can penetrate the skin like cactus spines. It can be difficult to remove, can cause itchy skin, irritated skin, but more than likely, you're just going to itch a lot in that area. There have been cases of swelling, inflammation, numbness, and also rashes. So just keep that in mind. This thing looks gnarly, though. Look at it. It looks like a little alien, right? Now, these worms can grow to be pretty big, up to 24 inches in a tank. And I got a 10-gallon tank, so I don't have a very big tank. But for the most part, they usually grow 1 to 6 inch. This is probably about 1 inches. So even 6 inches in a 10-gallon tank. I don't want one of these things in there. You know what I mean? They are nocturnal. So at nighttime, they'll come out. A lot of people will shine flashlights in their aquarium and try to take them out. But look at this thing. This thing is gnarly, right? They tend to stay under live rock or in the substrate or in empty shells like I had. And the lifespan depends on the type, but it's normally between a week or a month. As you can see, I'm kind of messing with this thing, right? Now, although they're creepy, ugly, eerie looking, they can be very useful for your aquarium, like Jason and Jeff told me. They eat detritus, which is fish poop, or decaying food that gets stuck in between rocks. So that's what they eat. That's what they survive. So they're like the maggots of the saltwater world, right? They eat dead things. So dead poop, dead fish, or anything dead, decaying in the aquarium, which makes these guys a little critter cleaner, I wanted to show you what the size reference is and how big it is compared to my finger. Now, you got to be careful because if you have clownfish like I do and they have a spawn and there's eggs, they can eat the eggs. And I'm sure they'll eat other types of fish's eggs too as well. So I kind of don't want them in my aquarium. That's just me, to each his own. I don't want little, centipede alien things crawling around. Now, if you want to get rid of them, there's a bunch of different ways. You can use traps. There's chemicals you can add to your, aquarium, which I don't personally think you should add anything to your water. But there's different ways of doing it naturally, which in my opinion is the best way. There are a number of wrasse that love to eat bristle worms. I'm just cleaning out all these shells to make sure that there's nothing in there, just so you know. But like I said, there are a ton of different wrasse that love to eat bristle worms. If you don't have room in your aquarium for a wrasse, because they can get pretty big, I got a 10-gallon aquarium. I heard that yellow watchman gobies love to eat bristle worms. So if you get a yellow watchman goby, which I've had in my 10-gallon aquarium, I think I want to go get another one, just to keep the numbers down of bristle worms, because I don't know how many are in there. Look at those little bristles in there. It's pretty wild, right? Like little spines. Also, you can use olive snails. Olive snails love to munch on bristle worms. I want to say bristle worms. But you can also get something called an arrow crab, which is really cool. I'm going to show you some footage of an arrow crab munching down on bristle worms here. Look at that thing, is gnarly, right? It's got the little hands. It like has the claws in the hands to get the bristle worms from inside the rocks, because they hide inside the crevices of rocks. And what I showed you there was an old bristle worm, just so you know. But yeah, bristle worms, like in that video there, you can physically remove them, which what I'm doing with tweezers. Just be careful with those little spines, because they will get in your skin. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Mother Nature, especially when you have an aquarium at home and these things, just come out of nowhere. Now, you don't want to break them because they are segmented, right? And if you break it and a piece goes back into the aquarium, it'll rejuvenate another worm. So you really got to be careful with these guys. These guys are tricky. Now, inside my aquarium, I do have Nassarius, I think I'm saying that right, snails, which are pretty cool. As you can see, my clownfish, I love them to death, and it's a male and a female, so I think I may have a spawn here soon. They're not really showing anything, signs of it, but can they affect your corals? A lot of people ask, and yeah, they can. This is that big shell. I'm going to take it out because it's just bugging me by just staring at it. But there ended up being nothing inside that snail. But the Nassarius snails are kind of like a zombie. Look at, there's another one in my aquarium. I saw this one crawling around. It's because I'm disturbing things, moving things around. So this worm right here was actually bigger than that other worm, which was crazy. And I'm gonna show you guys a little bit later in the video my Nassarius snail. It kind of hides. Look at this thing. This thing is gnarly. I also have some Trochus snails in here too to keep the algae down. So both of those snails will keep the algae down. And look at it. This thing is huge. This one's a lot longer than the other one. I want to say it's a little bit over an inch. And I have a 10-gallon aquarium, guys. I don't have a very big aquarium. So I think I may go down and get a yellow watchman goby and put them in the aquarium along with my 2 clownfish. I think that would be really cool. But a bunch of empty shells here. I'm going to leave the shells out. I don't want to give these guys homes. But they do live inside the crevices of rock. Now, you guys may be asking me, hey, how did this come on into your aquarium? Well, I want to say the only way this thing could have gotten to my aquarium is I got a piece of live rock with some coral on it. And I didn't do a dip or anything like that. I had the piece of rock and I just stuck it inside my aquarium. And there had to have been a small little one. Now, here in the sand, if you see, I'm going to put an arrow there. That right there is like a little nose or an eye. This is my Nassarius snail, which is super cool. It's like a zombie. It lives in the sand. When you put food in there, it comes out from underneath the sand. So this snail here will usually take care of detritus too, but also algae. I just love the way it kind of buries itself in the sand and then comes out of like the dirt, like, I don't know, a Michael Jackson zombie, you know what I mean? From Thriller. So that's a really cool snail. I actually love this dude. But this is my saltwater aquarium. I managed to get 3 of those bristle worms out of there. Now, they do love to hang out in the crevices of the rocks. So I will occasionally come here at night and shine a flashlight in here and look in all the crevices to see if I see any more worms. But if I have 3 that are pretty good size, I'm pretty sure I have more in my saltwater aquarium. So, yep, it's one of those things. It's Mother Nature, you know. But to be alarmed, they're not that harmful to your aquarium. They're a type of cleaning crew for your saltwater aquarium.
And there you have it. I hope you guys learned a little something about the bristle worm in saltwater aquariums, the ultimate hitchhiker. Don't freak out like I did, although I know I probably have some more in there because they do eat detritus. They are a type of cleaning crew, so they're very beneficial to a saltwater aquarium. Look at them as a friendly little alien centipede poop eater. Yeah, that's what we'll call them. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Much love and aloha.
Hana Hui A Maui.